What's up, everybody? See, Vegan's in here. Matt was in here. He might have had to leave. Woodchuck's in here. Happy New Year, he said. Y'all, I'm assuming you're still in here. You were on the chat whenever I got opened it up. So, what's up, Mike Bergson? It's actually not as cold out here as I thought it was. So, I think I can go hat mode. Vegan is in here still. So I'm gonna go through. I got I think 3 or 4 questions that was asked. I'll cover those, and then what's up, Homely665, and yeah, Woodchuck said he's here. I picked up some of these things like the pack out battery holders. I'm not gonna mount them to. I've even got a wall mount if I wanted to, but I'm actually just gonna. I drilled some holes. I'm gonna attach them to my walls and stuff. We might move some different stuff around. I'm gonna get y'all's opinion on things, and you guys look at it as well. But I'm gonna do I'm gonna do the questions and answers and stuff first. What's up, Raider Nation? Max said it's the first time he's not been 35 minutes late. I was gonna trim the beard, but then it's getting crazy cold outside, so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and keep it for at least another week. I did some ring like wall mount lights with the cameras, outside lights the other day, and it was so cold, like my GoPro wouldn't work because it was too cold, because I was going to film it and do a video for it. And then my vessel screwdrivers, it was so cold. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and keep my beard at least through next week. Next week's supposed to be really cold. What's up, Leonard? Max said he got the DeWalt Grabo on a nice deal, not used it yet. What's up, Contreras 21 here? So I'm going to pull up the questions. We'll go through those first, the ones that people asked that I needed to answer in a live format wise. Let's see. Go into photos. First one was Sparky IBEW. He asked, this was on the Nohlster clip video a long time ago, old video. Does the Nohlster clip work or clip into the holstery clip? So you have, I've had videos for all these. They're a little bit older stuff. But the holstery has a tape master, so it's meant to be for tapes. So if you have a tape with a regular clip on it, you know, you can stick that on there, tape master. And then they also have a driver master, which is for if you've got anything with a belt clip on it. You can slide it on there, wear it like that. I don't use these that much anymore because I've got the Nohlster and the Spider tool holster drill pins, so I don't use these quite that often. But he was asking, does the Nohlster clip, which is that right there, I've got it on my tape measures. I didn't have it on a tool that I had in here, but there it is on a tape measure. Will it fit in these? So here it is in the tape master. It fits in there, but I kind of responded back to him in the comment that it's very hard to get that unclipped. Let's see if I can get the lighting hitting it right. Because like normally if you clip this on something, you kind of got more access to get this because you got to pry that in to pull it off or whatever. And because it's like that, it's really tight against there. So you got to kind of work your finger in there to get it out. But it does fit in both of them, like the driver master or the tape master. You could use it like that. Me personally, I clip that in my pocket 99% of the time. But I would think that it's not as bad on the driver master. You got a little bit more room right there. So if I was going to buy one to use with this, I'd buy the driver master, because the tape master, it's really tight against there. They also have a driver master pro and a tape master pro now that's going to be different than these. So they might be shorter right here or something that might make it work better. So that was that question. I'll answer one more, then I'll check the chat. So y'all just keep commenting away. I'll catch you eventually. Let's see. This was Mumbles One Justin on the Warsun light. The one that I got a giveaway I'm going to do on, what's tomorrow? It's tomorrow Saturday, tomorrow Friday. What is today? Today's Thursday. Yeah, Saturday. We'll do the giveaway on that. But he said he was just about sold on that light, but then later on he asked, out of curiosity, because in that video I kind of was a little bit perplexed whenever I opened that, and it wasn't just USB-C, it had a USB-A, and I'm going to tell you now that the paperwork for that light, I mean, it doesn't tell you anything. So like there wasn't any kind of information for me to get off that to know what it did or what it didn't. So that's why I didn't mention it in the review, because I didn't know. But he was curious if that USB-A or the USB-C allowed you to use that little Warsun light as a power bank. So on this, you know, you have this right here, and I won't be able to plug it up. Well, I might can here. Let me see what I can do here. I don't have a lightning cable cord out here, but basically whenever I plugged USB-A to my phone, it did charge. So you can use it for a power bank out of the old style USB-A, but the USB-C, I put a USB-C to a USB-C cable to my phone and it didn't do anything. So you can use this as a power bank. I have no idea how big the battery is. It doesn't say in here, so I have no idea, and I don't think it says anywhere on the light itself either. So I know TPG asked if the battery was replaceable. Doesn't say what size it is or anything in there. Again, there's very little in the manual, but there is a bunch of screws on the back side of it, so I'm sure you could easily get in there. Now, whether it's something that you can get or not, I have no idea, but you can use that as a power bank. So let me check the chat, and then I also want to ask a question about my microphone too while we're here. Let's see what we got. Should I get two HO 3 amp M18 or the M8 M12 drill driver combo? I'm more of a prosumer area, but I already have the old M18 brush drill driver combo. The M12 drill and driver, they're both good, but I tell people all the time, what tools are you going to buy in the future? There's a lot of M12 tools out there that will do a whole awful lot, and it also really depends on what you're going to do with them. But I use Mike said the microphone sounds good. I use my M12 more than I use my M18, but I have certain tools that have to be M18. So if you don't want to get into both of them, you got to ask yourself, am I going to buy a miter saw later? Am I going to buy like a big circular saw? Am I going to buy a big hammer drill? Is that something that you're going to use and you're going to buy M18 anyways? Because ultimately the size, and I don't have my M18 surges in the back of my truck, but the size isn't much difference of the tool. It's just that battery size is the main difference. So if you want to stick with M18, I'd buy high output 3 amp hours that's what I run in my surge and my, other tools that I use that are just hand tools. They're pretty good batteries. But again, if you're going to buy more M12 tools, I like the M12 drill and impact just fine. Randy Juice in here. Happy New Year, he said. What's up, buddy? Back in the day. Something back in the day. What's up, Morgan? Andrew Sev said, nice hand modeling of clipping things. You're a natural. Clint Cole's in here. New to the channel. I watch a lot of Soals. Great dude and Tools and Tactics. What's up, Stephen Ott? Appreciate that. TPG is in here. Morgan's Maintenance. Hey, how did the ball and Vera screwdrivers hold up? I've been thinking about getting some. I've mostly been using my vessels, but I've got 2 of them I keep in my truck that I use more often than these. These are just my workbench ones. As far as the screwdriver part, phenomenal. This stuff wears off up here pretty fast. So that's about the only thing on the ones that I've used more often is your lettering and stuff up here on top. But as far as the screwdriver holding up, they hold up just fine. So you might have to come up with that stuff seems to come off pretty easy. Microphone sounds good. So I do have a new microphone, but I am curious. So I'm going to push a button real fast and try something. So this has noise canceling and then it doesn't. And I've never wanted to try doing it for filming a whole entire video and then me go inside and try to edit and I realize, oh, I don't want to use that. So right now this is supposed to be no noise canceling. So I'm going to press a button. It's going to be green now. So you guys can tell me if that sounds any different or, what. I don't know if that sounds different as far as the sound. I don't know which one's better, to be honest with you. There's not really a use case where it says you should use this instead of that. So way quieter, Matt HMM said. So I think it might block out stuff that's farther away. So if I use that, I would need to put that up here, I guess, maybe, and then maybe it blocks out, you know, outside sound and stuff like that. But I've always used I bought the same brand mic as the ones I was using before, but I always use the blue color every time I ever used it. I never did use the green, so, but the blue sounds good. This is what I'm on now, is the blue. You guys think that sounds all right, so I'll just stick with that probably. But Milo said the echo cuts out. I put my M12 drill driver in my bags. I keep my M18 in the garage. I know I might need the full M18 hammer. The fuel, or if he needs the full M18 hammer, then he will bring it. Woodchuck said first one's better. Eddie said quieter. Okay, I think it's great to experiment with different mics. You're doing great. Happy New Year. Wings and Pizza said. Both sound good. Once in a while, it's a little choppy, HVAC guy said. I could probably move it up a little bit closer, too. Let me do that. I'm a big mouth breather, though. I can't breathe through my nose very well, so I try to keep it away from my face as much so y'all don't have to listen to me breathe. We'll see if that makes any difference. I can also put this on my hat. It's got a magnet, and they're a little bit smaller. It's the same brand as, like I said, the one I had. I got it on sale. Is the only reason why I stuck with that one. I was going to get a Rode. Somebody said Rode mic. Vegan did. I almost got one. That's one I had in my Amazon wish list forever. But they ran a sale on this one, and this one came with basically everything to hook up to everything. So if I want to hook up to my iPad, which is where I do my voiceovers and stuff like that, it's very simple. I can hook it up to my GoPro even if I wanted to. So Eddie said he can hear my heartbeat. So let me get, see, should I invest in Bobcat T66 or Cat 255? I can't tell you that, buddy. I've got a buddy I could call and he might could tell you though. Let me check out, I got two more things that I was gonna do for the questions. Oh, yeah, this one was pretty good. So it was Michael Urban-T9Y. This was for the Klein cable stripper. One of the things I didn't like about it was how it tore the sheathing off whenever you were done with it. And he said, I think that you will find, I got to read this backwards, it's always hard for me. If you pull the jacket up, out, and backwards, and then pull the tool down, you'll definitely, let's see, you'll get a better result. Y'all can read that easier than me. It's backwards whenever I'm looking at it. So, and I tried it. It is a lot better. So let me see. So what he's saying to do is same way as you always do it with doing that sheathing, run it through. It rips that, you know, opens that up. But instead of doing what I was doing was just pulling this down through here like this and then tearing it off. If you pull that down like this, the way that blade is, if you kind of hold that and pull the tool off, it cuts that lot better, like way better. Still the paper's a little wonky, but much better. So that's definitely a pretty good tip. So, and it's actually probably the way you're supposed to use it based on the way that blade is. It's just, I don't read instructions. It may even say that on the instructions. I didn't read it, so pretty good tip. So I wanted to show you all that more than anything. I kind of answered him and said it made sense to me. So did try that. That does work better. And I had one other thing. This was D-Wang 87, Santronics video. The very first Santronics, the no audio version. Let me see, I'm gonna see if I can get over here so I can read at the same time. I stumbled upon your video and grabbed and ended I stumbled upon your video and grabbed and ended up grabbing a Santronics because of it. One question though, how do you change the battery on this thing? Supposedly the white tail piece screws off, but I cannot figure out how to do it. So let me see if I got that in the right spot now. And it is pretty hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and admit that. And especially the very first time you do it, you almost gotta have a pair of pliers. But this piece right here does come off. and you've got to be pretty careful with it. You know, it spins, but man, it is on there. I actually haven't had to change the batteries yet, so I hadn't attempted to do it until he asked me. I don't think you can personally do it by hand. I just honestly don't think you can. So I had to take a small pair of Cobras, but you can't just squeeze on it. You're going to bust it all to pieces, and you think you're going to break it. It even sounds like you're going to break it, but it's got like some glue or something in there. Let me get one more notch. It's pretty hard, to be honest with you. They need to work on this. Let me see if I can get it loose. You almost have to have 2 pairs. Might have to get another pair or something. So I was going to show y'all that it is ridiculous. Like I said, I hadn't had to change mine yet. Let me get another pair of something to grab a hold of this with. I was able to do it with just 1 pair the other day, though. I got some in my toolbox. Because, you know, it's not really good to do this because it's going to leave teeth marks and who knows what else. But I already broke my little, that was broke before I did this. You can eventually get it. Like I said, they need to work on this. This isn't how it should be, but this is how mine is too. So you do eventually, if you keep twisting this. I could tell that like mine, it seemed like it had glue on the threads or something. It was something crazy. But it does have threads, and then it has a spring, and your batteries are down in there. So Santronics, if you're watching this, you need to do something about that. I hadn't had to change mine before, so I figured that's how you did it, but I figured that's where it was at. But I hadn't tried to do it yet, so it is a big pain. So I could see why he was saying I can't figure it out, because you got to be crazy careful. Now the audio version, this one's a lot easier. All you got to do is spot right here, stick you a small flathead, kind of get that loose, then that comes out. So this one is easy. That one right there is a little bit of a pain. So this one's a lot more like the flukes and all that kind of stuff. So very similar with that. And I think that was the last of the questions. Let me double check. Yeah. So let me go back to the chat. Breathing is good though. We joke around with bobcats calling it Ghetto Roberto. What's up, Someway? You just wasted $1 worth of wire. I know you ought to see how much wire I've got over there in my bucket just from doing that video, that one video. What's up, Chicken Fried Steak? They need to make the Santronics tough stuff edition, even if it costs 2 times as much, as durability was always its weakness. Yeah, like I said, I haven't had a problem. I've even I did break the little piece, the little clip on the red one, but it was my fault. The way I did something on it made it break. But that's the first time I ever tried to take the battery thing off, and it was crazy. Do you prefer your DeWalt oscillating tool with variable speed trigger or your M12 oscillating tool with a dial for the majority of your products or projects? I like the size of my M12 one, like the way I can fit it in places, but I do like the trigger. I like being able to just use variable speed on the trigger and turn it on and off with the trigger. I do like that on the DeWalt. So I like both of them for certain applications. If I had to, I don't know if I had to get one. I don't honestly know which one I would get. Nylog. I use the M12 for anything less than an hour of operation in day. DeWalt XR for more than that if it's going all day long. Yeah, and I've also really only used my DeWalt like on flooring jobs. Like I only get it out for big stuff, kind of like what Matt just said, just because of big battery. I carry my M12s right there in my truck, like in my main drawers. I don't have to get my deck drawers in the bed of my truck, so it's a quick grab for me, so that's why I grab it more. Which tester is that? Randy Juice said that's the Santronics. This one's the what's the model number on this? 3115, I think. Yeah. halfway wore off, I think. Let's see if it's backwards too. 3115. This one's it's always on, but there's no audio. This one just gives you the, you know, you can test it and you can maybe see the red light coming on right there. But yeah, but I've had that for a long time and I haven't changed the batteries. Everyone watching, hit the like button. Vegan said, I do a lot of smaller jobs, fine and finished work. I'm highly invested in M12, but I'm going to be an equipment operator someday, so I'll use major M12 plus like 4 M18 for the equipment. Make the pigtails with your spare wire so it's not a waste. And you can do it while you're watching sports. There's no Thursday night game tonight, I don't think. What do you guys think about swivel head versus flex head ratchets? I'm also interested investing in some of the Klein Connect ratchets, so I don't know if it's worth getting anything else. I need to get me some 3/8 flex heads. I actually need a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch just to have here in my garage. I've had some gear wrench ones in my list for a long time. I made a post about it a while back, but I hadn't made the decision on what I'm getting. It's not a need. I just want to have it so when I need it. Max running, see you, buddy. Tools and Tactics, there should be 40 plus likes, guys. Double tap the screen. Appreciate that, Tools and Tactics. White said flex head ratchet. So I went out to Lowe's, or not Lowe's, Home Depot's got a deal on all this stuff. And then the lady ended up giving me some more percentage off whenever I went up there to buy it. So I bought the M12 battery holder. I got an M18 battery holder, and I'm never going to use these in my truck just because, you know, I don't have places to mount stuff like this in my truck. So I'm going to mount these somewhere over yonder. And I also got, this one is a screwdriver slash tool holder, something or other too. So I'm going to mount that somewhere over there. I just pre-drilled some holes. I'm going to mount to the wall with screws. So that's what I'm going to do today. You guys can kind of let me know. I'm going to move over. I'll move over here to the workbench here in a minute. And I'll hold up stuff and you guys can tell me what looks the best. Let me turn on this number 5. See if that might be too bright. I don't know. I'm going to move y'all over to this other tripod. Let's get to where we somewhere. Let's see. Of course, then you're not going to be able to see it maybe straight on. I might have to come back and for the decision-making process. So, got to decide if I want to get rid of stuff altogether. Personally, I don't feel like so. Basically, most of my videos you guys see like this. So I don't want to necessarily, I mean, y'all don't need to look at batteries, so I don't want to put them there. But I'm thinking, let me scoot back some. I think I'm too close. Of course, you can't zoom on these. I was leaning towards, you know, just off over here to the side. And I could either do one of them on each side or whatever, or put them both over here. That's where my chargers are. And then I don't know about the screwdriver thing. If I need to get rid of this sign, how much do y'all love the money can't buy happiness, but it can buy tools, which is pretty much the same thing sign? How much do y'all love that? Or should I get rid of that and change up to where I got tools over in here? That kind of thing. And then I was gonna, Tools and Tactics, he's got like a lot of them the Klein modbox rails. And I do have the thing, I don't have the rail, so I'd have to get one of those. But I've got the thing that mounts the mod boxes, so I thought about getting one of those and mounting it over here and putting those up there. Miss Maintenance says I got too much going on right here for the videos. I don't know if y'all think it's too much or not, so y'all let me know that. Y'all are the ones that look at it too, so I don't want to go change a bunch of stuff. If what I do with my phone with the chat. There we go. So let's see what y'all are saying. Milwaukee has some really nice looking flex heads. Those are the ones I want, Milo, because all my other ratchet sets are Milwaukee. I just can't decide if I want to spend that kind of money on it, but that is what that's more than likely what I'm going to end up getting. I've been watching to try to catch a deal, but because it's not something I have to have, it's just something I want, so the time I have to have it, I'm going to already have it type thing. Because my store doesn't carry them, so I can't just go to the store that day and get them. You know, that's not going to happen. Get your Klein X and 1 stubby out, Joey. Oh yeah, tools. That's in my truck. I keep that in my truck bag. I probably got an extra one in here though. I've got a bunch of different ones. There was something else I was going. Oh, Steve's wood shop and tool reviews isn't in here though. I don't think, is he? I was going to tell him I could go find some DeWalt deals for him. He had a video where he said he's never buying DeWalt again. Clint Patronella, keep making videos, love the content. What Milwaukee tools are you eyeballing for 2025? I'm not real sure. I haven't seen anything like crazy. Let me move my chair over here. So y'all be pondering about, I'll go ahead and move. Oh, see if I can get to the center so y'all can kind of see. I probably should have left y'all. Maybe y'all can kind of see that. So y'all can be pondering on this. So do I just put all my battery stuff over here on one side, which I'd have to probably move my bag some to drop that, or do I put one on each side? And then where do I put this, or do I just put this somewhere? See my TP3B right there, that's just all them tools that are in there are just stuff I just randomly throw in there and grab out whenever I need something out here. So I could move that and move all that stuff down. I just don't know where I want to put the screwdriver holders. And then I also had this. I had thought about it one time, mounting this on the wall over here somewhere. And then I could do like my current top screwdrivers, but a lot of screwdrivers don't fit in this thing right. Like, you know, none of the impact, like 11-to-1 doesn't, these aren't big enough for a lot of them. So that's kind of a waste. So I'm not going to do that either, but y'all be pondering on that. Have you used your Philo T-handle yet? Does it feel sturdy? It's pretty stout. I haven't really used it other than just trying it out whenever I got it. I haven't used it on a job yet, so, but I mean, it feels pretty good. I actually really like the grip on this handle. It's like there's not really another screwdriver I have that has that same kind of feel to it. Like it's almost like 100%, like it's got the same stuff as the Vera, but it's more of the whole handle. Like if you've run Vera screwdrivers, like what this section feels like versus the smaller color, like the green is a lot harder plastic and the yellow is real rubbery. It's like this whole entire handle feels like the yellow on this Vera. So I do like the feel of that one. Screw a couple of the modbox rails too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. If I do the modbox rails, I'm gonna get the same things Tools and Tactics has. He's got some of them black rails. Like he clips his like actual power tools, like belt clips and stuff on them, but they're actually made to accept the same thing as the side of your box. So this thing has a little clip on it that you can clip onto those rails that he's got, and then this you can take and clip your mod boxes onto like this and take them on and off. This is actually made to clip onto like the side of the Klein mod box rails. Picked up a Craftsman 7-piece trim remover kit at Lowe's for $4 on clearance. I'd keep the battery holders on the same side and move the sign for your screwdriver holder set, Andrew Sev says. What precision screwdriver do you recommend, multi-bit or set, for an all-in-one? If I was going to put one in my tool bag, I'd get the Klein 27-in-1. I don't have it in here because it's in my tool bag. but I like the size of it. It's got tons of bits in it, and it's one space, because you're not going to run into, I need to carry 7 precision drivers in my tool bag with me 24/7. That's premium space that you're going to take up. Now, if you got a bigger bag or something, or you want to keep a set in your truck, that's a total different thing. But in my tool bag, I like the multi ones, just because I'm not a person who uses, pretty much mostly for thermostats and cameras and stuff like that. That's pretty much all I use a precision driver for. Matt said he used his Philo for a main lug the other day and it did fine. So need a larger Morgan's maintenance sign, all about the brand. Yeah, I made that a long time ago. That's just a sticker I printed off on my printer and cut a piece of wood and painted it white and then put it on there. One of these days, some fancy neon sign company will probably hook me up. Why not? Why not put it on a pack out mount on the side of your cabinet to the left? I've got a pack out mount and I thought about doing it, but I'm never going to take them back off. Whenever I put them up in here, they're going to be my garage battery holders. And what that's going to allow me to do is, more than anything, is get all those batteries off of sitting on my desk, on my workbench. And then I've also got more batteries. Let me see. And this is the time of year. I don't know if I'm trying to do this with this big tripod. I've got more inside that drawer that I can put in there. And this time of year, I don't keep as many batteries in my truck because it's so cold. And then that way, you know, don't mess them up. So I keep my batteries now. I'll keep a couple in my truck, but then I take them and put them in a tool bag, and I carry them in the house every night and just bring them back and forth. Because like here in the last little bit, it's been super cold. It's supposed to get even colder. Like next week's supposed to be miserable. Color, I could care less if it holds more or not. I wanted Tools and Tactics to see a Klein stubby that he has a problem with in the video, but one that's not broken. Let's see. I have the modbox rails inside my gang box, Randy said. I picked up the 13-in-1 because you can use 1/4-inch bits. I like the new plumbing one better than the 27-in-1 lately too. Yeah, that is a good one. The 13-in-1 plumbing one, I like it. But it's because it's a smaller and there's enough multi-bits, and the fact that with that one you can take the bits out of your 27-in-1 and put the one, because again, I don't use, in my 27-in-1, I probably still only use 4 or 5 of the precision bits. It's just nice. I like the handle on that one because it's a little bigger, but you can still take those bits if the 13-in-1 doesn't have it in it, the ones that you normally use, and you can make it. Some cookies in the background would always be a welcome sight. Morgan's maintenance has to slim up, vegan. I've gotten chubby. I've got to slim it up. So starting now, you're going to slowly see me melt away into nothingness in the next little bit. I usually lose weight pretty fast. It takes me a little while to gain it, but I go back and forth all the time. Y'all will see Fat Joey and Skinny Joey multiple times in your lifetime. Visually, I like the angle view. Keep the battery holders together. Makes more sense. Put the screwdriver rack over the outlet so we can watch the sparks fly. Appreciate that, vegan. I live in the middle of Texas and it was 80 like 2 days ago. It's been cold here, and what they used to say, or at least in my area, is it's colder than a witch's boob in a snowman's mouth. Is what, I don't know why it's a witch's boob. It's supposed to be colder than something else in a snowman's mouth, but that's how cold it has been. That's how cold it's about to get. If I leave batteries in the work van car, I put them in a Tough Built cooler or a Milwaukee cooler box. Put the batteries way over by the vest. They are not interesting. Leave your signs. They are cool. Get the Vera screwdrivers off the bench, maybe under the TV on the Milwaukee mount. Is what Lockhammer says. Yeah, I don't feel like I need to put the battery holders like where y'all are going to see them. There ain't no sense in y'all seeing them during tool videos. Who wants to look at batteries? But like I said, pretty much most of the time what you guys see is with my zoom that I use is pretty much kind of like because I know it kind of, because even sometimes I'll take this clock off if I remember, because it throws like a shadow down here, and y'all can't see the clock anyways because it's kind of right in here, and then it goes like that. I've actually got a window behind this. I blocked it all off for the videos. I say it's as cold as Hitler Hoyd's clammy snatch. Vegan said snowman witch. Yeah, I mean, that's been a saying, like I've heard it a ton, but I've never understood why it was so important that it was a witch's. I don't know why that makes it different than any other boob in a snowman's mouth. Rigid finally makes drawer boxes, but not a large drawer, small drawer version like the Klein. What the heck? Well, see, that's the same way Milwaukee's is going to be. Like, I think they're just coming out with that single drawer. Now, maybe they'll come out with other options too. The Cold War was a little hot though. What are you keeping all those pack out boxes to the left? So, let's see. I've only heard witches and a brass brawl. Okay, that actually makes more sense. I still don't understand the witch part of it, but the brass brawl makes more. Well, snowman's mouth's pretty cold too, though, I would think. So all those are just stuff that I haven't moved to pack out yet. That's the original organizers. So like snacks and all those boxes. So like this is my grid ceiling box, so everything I would need to install a grid ceiling, and then I've got everything from tap cons if I'm going into concrete to screws if I'm going into wood, little anchors. I don't use rivets, I use these little white screws, all sorts of stuff, jet line, any tool that I would need to install it. That way I can just come grab this. I've got everything I need. So basically in those, some of them are still job box things like this. Some of them are just random fasteners, like here's a mix of tap cons, wood screws, metal screws, drywall screws, anchors. So this is just a all-around box that I used to grab, like if I was going somewhere and I didn't know what I was getting into, I'd have a little bit of everything type thing. Pocket hole, Craig, pocket hole jig, and pocket hole screws. Plumbing boxes, stuff like that. Door install box up here. This is my M12 cable stapler right here. I haven't made my little, I haven't got organized enough yet to put labels and stuff on them. I just know that's what it is. And then some of these, like this one's still empty. I'm gonna make this a flooring tool install box. I just haven't got to it yet. I'm actually going to be doing flooring before too long, so that's whenever. Basically, once I'm building a new box, what I do is I wait till I'm actually doing the job, and then I get the stuff out of my garage, and then I figure out ways to put it in there. This one, I think that's my Klein ET450. I think that's pretty much going to end up being in my truck all the time. That's pretty daggone handy. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's pretty nice. So here's switches, receptacles, plates, a bunch of different colors, GFCI, kind with USB, dimmer switches, just a collection so that if I'm going to someone's house, I don't have to hopefully go to the store. But like this one's empty currently, empty currently. These three are empty. So whenever I get them on deal, I go ahead and buy some so that whenever I come across something that I need, I just build it while I'm here. It ends up being something. But most of those are what I was running before I went into pack out. They don't sell those anymore. They still lock together, but not like a pack out. So these were the older style. Let's see, y'all probably aren't going to be on there. Let's see. I'll move y'all back some. Boom! Modbox just ate it. So this one, these still like locate with each other, but then you had to flip these things up to lock it. But I never did really stack them that way. I always have them like that right there. So, but they're still really good boxes. And all these boxes, like this is a PEX one, PEX fittings and stuff like that. All these boxes are the same boxes that are in the pike out boxes. So I've still been able to like even reuse the same cups and all that stuff. Knocked over the mod box. Yeah, I think I'm leaning for this for sure. Makes more sense to me. So I'm gonna put them two there. Might even move them over a hair. This was the only one I wasn't sure really what I was gonna do with it. But may end up just going over here. Yeah, because it goes like this. I always got bukus of screwdrivers. We always sit, oh, that was the brass. Where's the electrical box? What electrical box? Checking in late. Georgia lost to Notre Dame. Terry Burton said, make sure I'm still on the film. Yeah. They were most definitely better than us. My wife seen your TV screen and said I liked it. Her response said you would. I enjoy romantic walks through the hardware store. I had a couple other pictures on there, but for some reason it was messing up, and it's really weird. Like I'll take pictures. Let's see if this is better or not. I don't know. Let's see. Might be. I don't know if that's better. I'll take pictures of like and put them on my thumb drive. That's all I do is I put a thumb drive in the TV, so I don't have to have a computer hooked up with Wi-Fi and all that stuff, eating up my Wi-Fi. But some of them show up on there and some of them don't. I'm trying to think of what the one said. It's a guy walking. Man, I wish I could think of it. It was funny, but it won't. It doesn't come up on there. They make a MM, a SSS, a MSS, and a single XL. Every combination except what I need on the drawers. I might switch to Klein for the base box on sale for that reason. Trips to Lowe's or Home Depot are the best for losing money on the job. Yeah, as far as not only losing money, but I'll walk around and find other stuff that I end up buying just for my own personal self at clearance or whatever. But yeah, if you've got to make a trip, like which most of my stuff is like a service stuff, like where it's just time and whatever anyways, for that kind of stuff. Like if it's a job, you for sure lose money if you spend a whole lot of trips to where you've actually bid it. You should do a giveaway of your empty ones. You're funny, JC, you're funny. I don't know what Fan's garage says up there. A Tresatura Spedicalora, whatever. Spedicalora. Shipping boxes are crazy expensive. Oh, I'd say so, yeah. Like shipping a pack out box would cost more than you just going to the store and probably buying one. I need a toolbox for my apartment because I have too many tools floating around. Everyone else in my company uses Milwaukee, but the Klein just makes more sense organizational to me. I've said it, the Klein mod boxes are pretty good. I'm not a fan of the bright orange, so that would be a big, like, I don't like the organizers. Like the single drawer that I've got that has that gray on the front, of course, it's normally been in here, but now it's in my truck with that adapter. I like that color scheme. Like if they integrated a little bit more gray with the orange, but just the organizers just being boom orange, and I'm talking bright fluorescent orange, and the cups being bright. I'm not a big fan of that, but I have some fat axe and craft. Maybe put that on the edge of the table. The screwdriver deal. Let's see, you talking about like that? Yeah, I don't know if I probably wouldn't like that. I don't think. I'd end up hitting it all the time. Have you decided when you're going to do the flashlight giveaway? I'm going to do it on Saturday. I know that. So I'll do a live sometime Saturday. But Saturday morning, I'm going to be filming a podcast with HVACR, reliable HVACR. And it's not going to be live like that day, but I'm filming it that day. So I think that's going to be in the morning. So it just depends on, I'll either come out early in the morning before that and do the live, or I'll do the live after the guest the trades for the flashlight giveaway. But I'll do it sometime Saturday for sure. I have some Fat Max and Craftsman organizers that lock together like that. As a Georgia Tech grad, I am happy to see the Bulldogs lose, even to the Fighting Irish. Not being a pack-out guy, I didn't know there was an earlier version of the pack-out. That latching is a lot like the Craftsman versus Stack. Yeah, it's their older one, other than the fact that they don't lock together at all, except for doing that, type thing. Like there's no clicking of them together, but they do nest together, and they actually work fairly well like that. I never did really latch mine together because all my stuff, I don't really run big stacks. I just come in my garage. Like if I'm doing ceiling grid, I'll come in and grab that box and put it in my truck. Or, if I'm doing flooring, I'll come grab that box, put it in my truck. And whenever I get home and I'm done with the flooring job, it stays in my garage. I don't keep that stuff in my truck all the time. So I'm never taking like, 10 boxes in somewhere at a time for the most part. I might take 2 or something at the most. We have a rule: if it's past noon, no more trips to Home Depot. It can wait till the next day. Any trips after that, I take care of, but it's more fun at that point and having it for tomorrow. Big fan of the Blackout Slim organizers. Yeah, me too. I actually like those better because, again, same kind of thing as what I was mentioning is the cups on the big ones. It's nice to put in a big bunch of screws, but I can refill them like every day if I use a bunch of them. Why? I don't want to carry around a 30-pound one with me all the time and take up that much space in my truck. It's kind of what I was saying. Almost everything I think through is how much space is this going to take up in my truck? Because if I can just take small amounts of screws, enough for a job, I can refill it whenever I get home. And again, like the only time where I've got like a big box of screws is decking screws and stuff like that I use for framing. And with that, I don't even put them in a pack out. I buy the big pound boxes of them, and I just take that and put it in my truck and just use them out of that. Where do we submit our picks for Guess the Trade? You can email them to me. If you go to any of the Guess the Trade videos and go to the description, it's got explanations of how to do it. HVAC guys hurting now. Do you agree Kleins are the GOAT of tools? Not so much anymore. Like I would have said that if you'd asked me that 15 years ago on hand tools, I would have said, yeah, that's my favorite ones. But I've used a lot of pretty good stuff now. I think I love Klein's 11-in-1 more than any of the other ones, especially the Impact 11-in-1. I like it. I think it's a really good, mostly because I can make so many things out of that screwdriver. It's not like I can make my own screwdrivers out of it, that kind of stuff. I'm using Bessel screwdrivers now more than I use anything else, though. So I like them the best. Their alignments and stuff are still really good, but again, I've used Knipex now, and a lot of the Knipex tools where I used to use Klein, I feel like the Knipex are better. They perform better. Or it isn't that they necessarily perform better. They still cut about the same. It's just they are a lot more loose, a lot more like what I like them to be. So yeah, every brand has good and bad tools. That's what Matt just said there, and that's true. Like I said, I'm never one that's like every tool this brand makes is awesome because this brand made it. It's not always the case. There's some Milwaukee tools I don't like. I don't like a lot of their hand tools, period. I love Milwaukee tools. It's pretty obvious, but I don't like a lot of their tools. Like there's some of them I don't like at all. I really like the look of the DeWalt 2.0 stack, but I'm invested into Trade Stack Craftsman. Honestly, it's perfect for my needs. Eddie said JC, if they're not, they're close. Yeah, and like I said, I really like some of the Klein's tools are still the ones that I would buy if I was going to buy them, but then there's other brands I like too. But And I'm talking about, you know, if I say Klein Lyman's and Knipex Lyman's, you know, they're both really good. Like, whether you like one more than the other, it's not like it's this one's a piece of crap completely and this one's just, oh, it's amazing. It's like they're both really good. Someone might prefer one over the other just for whatever reason. Maybe even like the grips on one over the other. That's primarily for me is I like a lot of the Knipex just dip grips for whatever reason. They're really thin and that's why I like them. But they also just, they're really loose. That's what I like them more than anything. Daniel said, hi, Morgan. I always use Klein voltage tester, but then I saw your Santronics in your videos. I bought it, and I think it's the best one I have. Yeah, that's all I use. Like I said, I bought 2 more of these since I made a video for this one. It's in my vest. It's in my bags. I keep this one in my MP2X. I use it a lot, but it's because I like the form factor of the round one better. But I've been buying this one just because sometimes the sound's nice. But yeah, I don't even use any of my other ones anymore. Those are the only ones I use. Matt got the Lobster, or Someway got the Lobster 6-inch X drive. Said he's happy about that. Quick can, 35 to 55 gallon portable instant container. Everyone asked me where I bought it. I don't have the mini light. What you think about this $20 Warsun light? Thanks for posting great videos about tools. Yeah, I use my quick can all the time. People ask me the same thing whenever I get it out on job sites. They're like, where'd you get that at? That's pretty nice when they see you using it and how it works. The Warsun light that I'm doing the giveaway for is here. This one here. For less than $20, it's not a bad light. It would get on my nerves having to, you know, cycle through that to turn it off every time. You know, I even tried holding down the button holding down the button on my other Warsun eventually turns it off, but since this one has 2 lights, the holding down the button turns it to this one, you know, and then you hold it down again, it doesn't do anything, so you have to cycle through that to turn it off. The cycling I don't like, you know, but again, it's $20, less than $20 compared to my Woobin, which is like 80 with the coupon. You might can get it for 60 or something like that. I like the Woobin better, like if I was going to get one for my own self, but that's if I'm a person who's going to spend $80 for a flashlight instead of $19. Depends on how much you're going to use it, I guess. If it was going to be like I just get this out and I clip it on my hat every now and then, like once or twice a week, month, whatever, then yeah, $19 all day long. But if it's something I'm going to use pretty often, I wouldn't want to do that cycling every single time. I put those deck screws in a small 1-pound box, put them in my pouches, and when I'm done, I take it out. No digging out screws from the bottom of the pockets. Yeah, I always keep I've got a holstery Joey pouch. I've got a big Joey pouch full of decking screws, and then I've got small Joey pouches full of drywall screws that stay closed up in my truck. That's what I hold them in, and then that way they're always in there too. So I keep a good amount in there like that. We've gotten to the point where technology is so universal, it just depends on your color choice. Eddie says he uses a bunch of different tools as well. The Klein pliers, wrench, and the Ratchets multi-screwdrivers come to mind. I haven't minded I only bought the small pliers wrench. I don't know about the big one or not, but I've kept the small one. It's been in my SBLD along with my Knipex. I've been using it whenever I've been using one just to kind of see how it works out. I haven't had a problem with mine. Anyone in here run Tough Built Stack Tech? Man, whenever I saw that come out, that was the first system that I saw come out that I was like, man, I wish I would have waited for that one. And it's only because the way I put stuff in and out of my truck. See if I can maybe explain this. Probably be easier with 2 little organizers. Because the nice thing about the Stack Tech is you can just set it on there like that and, you know, lock it into place. And the way I store stuff in my truck, you know, I've got to have room for this to be able to put it on there and then snap it back. So like in my deck drawers and stuff like that, that takes up more room. Or you have to have more room to get stuff in and out than what the actual box is, versus that Stack Tech looks like you can just, you know, set it on there and boom, it locks into place. So whenever I saw that, I was like, man, there's so much stuff where I feel like that's the better way to go. But I still haven't tried it. I probably never will, because again, I got so much to pack out. It's ridiculous now at this point. There's no way I can change. But the Stack Tech was the first one I saw where I'm like, that's a pretty good locking system. Like, it looks pretty nice. I am curious though, now that it's been out for a while, if anybody's had any more problems with it. I haven't seen any videos of people saying problems with it, other than, you know, that crate, like there was a certain thing that if you put it in there, you couldn't go back to a double, or you couldn't do 2 singles or something. I don't remember what that was, but I do remember something about that. Has anyone found a great way to store and organize 1/4-inch hex screwdriver bits at home and can grab easily to take to the job and stay together? Let's see if it's in the picture. I bought me another Easy Red, which I haven't filled this one up. It's basically the same thing as my truck, but you know, this holds, I can't remember what it is now, 48 or something like that, and it's magnetic. So I just take it, I leave it out here. I can grab bits in and out of it, but I can also take this off and take it and slap it on the side of my truck or on the toolbox over here or whatever else, because it's magnetic on the back, and you can also fold it in half. So I really like that. I bought another one just to keep out here, but that's been phenomenal in my truck, mounted to those drawers like that. I love it. Just a cooler ammo can, got it on sale for 20 bucks. It holds batteries or caulking. Any compressor recommendations? I've had the same. I've got an old Delta over here. It's one of the very first tools I bought when I got married, and we've been married for 25 years, so it's been kicking. It's a little bitty one over there too. It's maybe an 8-gallon or something like that. And I've never bought anything else, because I don't typically use I don't even use an air compressor like in my work at all. Like, I got all battery powered nail guns, battery powered every other tool. So I don't even use a air compressor in my work. That's just pretty much over here to pump up tires and stuff like that. And I don't even really use that for that anymore. I use my M12 compressor. But somebody else in here might have a really good idea. So I'm not the person to ask that, but there's probably somebody in here. What's so nice about Santronics? You have to go watch my videos. It's sensitivity for me is what's so nice. Like, I've got videos showing it compared to Klein, the rest of them, Fluke even. Like, I know exactly what wire is hot and which one's not. And some of them, like, you can get within 3 inches of something and it's already going off whenever you got a big old gob of wires. This one, pretty much, you can get right down to it. That's the biggest reason why I like them the most. That's why it's my main one. You know, other than that, they're always on, you know, that kind of stuff. That's not really that wasn't the big selling point to me. The big selling point to me is the sensitivity. I love the tough built screwdrivers. Handle size perfect. Weight and grip's good too. TPG's got a box that will hold 30 some odd bits. It's magnetized. Tajima makes faster boxes with lids and belt clips that store in case layers. Seems neat. Let's see, a couple. Wyatt the pilot said, what flashlight is that? Is that this here, what you're talking about? That's the Warsun DC 08. It's the one that I just had a review for, and we're doing a giveaway because they sent me 2 of them. They sent them to me. I didn't buy them. They sent them to me. And, well, actually, though, whenever they messaged me about it, I almost just went ahead and bought it because it was only $19. But then I was like, I'm going to go ahead and see if they'll send me 2 of them. If they'll send me 2 of them, I'll have them send them to me, and then I'll give away one. So that's the only reason why I went ahead and had them send me. Because sometimes if companies like that send me stuff and ask me if I want to do it, and it's real cheap, I just go ahead and just buy it. Because I'd just soon do that. That way, I'm not, oh, they want me to have a video out in a week or 2 or something like that. You know, I just do what I can make a video for it if I want to or not want to, or because I don't make a video of every tool I buy, but I make most of them. Sometimes I buy tools that are older tools that I figure nobody really wants to see. Now sometimes I'll put that in a tool haul video or something like that, but I don't make a review for it because it's been out forever. Lock Camera says as he uses railer for the 1/4-inch bits. I do that too. I've got those in my truck as well. Like here's the railer bit rail with the longer bits. I keep those in my truck, but I also got several of the smaller ones. But I like this for in my, I can move this around with me and just stick it to stuff because I got metal all in here. Metal shelving, metal toolbox, metal drawers, metal file cabinet. So wherever I'm working in here, I can take and stick that to something. Did you decide what jack to get? TPG said, yeah, I did. I've got 2 of them. You'll just have to wait and see which ones it is. Buy Cinco or California air quiet compressor. So there you go. There's the plumbing with Keys is in here. Abraham's in here. What's up, buddy? I got to go back up. I missed some of you. Do you have an opinion on Ideal Electric Tools? Was a shame they left Lowe's, but love many of their pliers. I think I've at some point in time, I used to have like I never did buy a lot of Ideal because I was a big Klein person, but I did have like one of their circuit breaker finders a long time ago. I know I had that. I can't really think of any other Ideal tools. I think I might have had the Ideal MC cutter at some point in time. Matter of fact, that might even be the one that I've got in my, let me see what this one is. No, it's a Southwire roto split. So this was the tool I was talking about there. It's Southwire. I've had the Klein, and then I've got this Southwire one. I was thinking maybe I had an Ideal one of those, but this is Southwire. I haven't bought a lot of Southwire tools either, but that's why I was thinking this might be Ideal, but that's not. I can't think of much else. I did have a Southwire, like a Cat 5 and phone mapping and punch down, a whole little kit came with that kind of stuff. I did have a Southwire meter at one time, but Ideal, I can't think of very many Ideal stuff that I've had. I don't have anything against them. It's just probably in the time where I would have bought Ideal. If Klein was sitting there next to them or whatever, I was just always going to buy Klein just because habit. That's why I like your channel and others that actually use tools to give reviews and feedback from comments on what tools they like and dislike. Helps me from wasting money. Yeah, that's why it's really good for the comment section. That's why every video, I'm like, if you're watching this video, drop a comment, because it's like, yeah, I made a video, but there's plenty more people out there that use it. You're just hearing my opinion on something. And I've always said, like, me using a tool and someone else using a tool, like, I could hate it and they could love it because we do 2 different things. So just because I don't like something, or even just because I like something, doesn't mean it's going to work great for you, because we might be totally different in the way that we approach things, or even the jobs that we do, because like there's a big range of types of jobs you can do within every single field. Thanks for the Klein Romex stripper review. Just got it. I don't know when you came in here, Brian, but I showed at the very beginning, like a guy commented a way to tear the sheathing off that makes it a lot better. So instead of doing like I did in that video where I just kind of pulled it off and it looked nasty, if you pull it up and then slide this thing up, that blade catches it better and cuts it off more flush. So it does a lot better job. So if you didn't watch that, after this live is to where you can rewind it or do whatever, you might want to check that out. Let's see. Plummet says he keeps the majority of his bits in the Vito zipper pouch. Hopefully I'm here for the giveaway, always 5 minutes late. Well, it's going to be, that one will be I will pick a comment from that video. So if you haven't commented on that video, you can still win it if you're not in the live on that one. You just have to comment on the video and put the hashtag in your comment. If you haven't done that yet, you got to go over to that video, comment below the video, and put the hashtag that I say in the video in your comment, because if the hashtag's not in there, I pick somebody else too. Morgan, I finally tried that Houdini stuff. Let me say thank you. My impact ain't looked this good since new and smells great. Yeah, it's phenomenal stuff, man. I've tried 4 or 5 other things thinking, oh, well, I'll try this, or somebody recommends something to me. It's like the Jersey discount tool cleaner. I think I might have used it all. I still got one more thing of it, but I don't know what I did with that actual, oh, here, yeah. Somebody recommended this to me, and it's okay. Like I said, I'm not saying it's bad, but it ain't Houdini. I'll just tell you that. And I've got to order it too. But it's kind of different though. Like it's more of a deep cleaner type thing. And I don't want to spray this inside of the electronics of my power tools. And I'm not, again, disclaimer, I'm not saying you should do that with Houdini. I'm just saying I have done it with Houdini for like 15 years and 0 problems have come from it, because it's made for electronic locks and, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. Ideal move to Menards. RRT08 said. Safe on the inside of power tools too. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to tell you that it is, but I'm just telling you I haven't had any problem with my power tools. Might be the best recommendation I've got from the channel. So much better than WD-40. Yeah, the WD-40 does a really good job cleaning, but if you use a ton of it, man, it smells, and your tools smell. You put them in your bag, you go in somebody's house. You know, a lot of people don't like that smell, like WD-40 smell. I don't mind it, but I'm saying you go into a house and you've cleaned your tools with WD-40, like somebody might actually say something and be like, man, versus Houdini, it just smells like oranges. Matt says he doesn't dislike his Klein cable stapler. It's fine. You just haven't, well, you said you have tried the M12 one. Mine was horrible. Like, mine was pretty bad. Like, I can't imagine using it all the time. Thanks for all the Klein videos. I have added all the new screwdrivers to my bag and love them. We don't have a Lowe's in Canada anymore, so only Depot has them. Love the channel. Appreciate that, Red Tools. My Klein blackout screwdrivers are $12.50 on clearance at Lowe's at my store. Well, somebody mentioned it was Captain, I can't remember what Captain 41, but I don't remember the other numbers with his name. But he said a lot of the Klein Connect sets are like 13 bucks or something like that. Somebody just commented, let's get lit. So somebody just got into the mix on that. I was wondering if it was Wyatt, but it wasn't him. I didn't go to Lowe's today, so I don't know. I can't imagine mine has them at $13. So you might go check your Lowe's and see if they put Klein Connect sets on sale. That Jersey tool cleaner looks like Simple Green. Kind of smells like it too. It's got a more of a cleaner smell than the Houdini does. I got my first can of Houdini too, but haven't gotten around to using it. Maybe this weekend. The M12 stapler is way better, of course, but I have 4 of the Kleins. It goes into each work rig already for 10 staples. Why not? Yeah, if you've already bought that many of them, you probably bought a big bunch of staples. You got to use them at some point in time, so might as well. Where are we at? 68 minutes. I was going to screw all this stuff up here, but I think I'll just wait and surprise y'all with where I put them. I was just getting y'all's recommendations of where you thought I should put them. So more than anything, I was asking about the money can't buy happiness sign. How much y'all like that or not? I'll leave it up there. I'll probably move some screwdrivers. I'll probably put the screwdrivers over here and the batteries over there. And then I'm going to debate on whether or not I want to buy some of those Klein rails and put stuff over here. Because like I said, most of it, all that stuff's the only stuff you all are going to see during videos like this. Like most of my tour review videos, none of that stuff's in the picture. Anyone else's screen changing color, or is that my TV? Steve Rivera said. Work gets sidelined when you're chatting with friends. Yeah, well, I'm sure y'all don't care to sit here and watch me put 4 screws in the wall anyways, and I'm going to be anal about it anyways, about exactly how straight and where I've got them, so I don't want y'all watching that either. If I get in a hurry chatting with y'all, I'll end up getting one off level. It won't be 0.00, and I won't be able to live with myself. I've never seen 100 people on one of your lives. That's a milestone. Getting close to 25,000 subscribers. I think it was like 25.6 something earlier today when I looked. Essential deep well HD flip socket set 65238. I got 2 for about $12.50. Essential deep well HD. So is that the one with the metric and SAE? The numbers, I can't remember what that number is. Essential deep well HD flip socket set. Or no, that's the one with the 11. Is that the one with the 11 and 1 screwdriver, and then it's got the sockets down below it? I'm trying to think of the picture in my head what that one is. Well, I don't know why I'm not just looking it up. 65238. I keep forgetting I've got a phone in my hand. Klein 65238. Klein 65238. Yeah, so that's this one. 65238. I know it's got the number on here somewhere. I thought it did. I don't see it though. At this set, Jamie. I think that's this one. Yeah, for $12.50, that's just to get that ratchet and stuff's not a bad deal. And to get this adapter, because this adapter here doesn't come in every set. So, and again, that allows you to put that in your 11 and 1 ratcheting screwdriver, but you can also put it on a 1/4 inch ratchet and use all your flip sockets on that if you want to. It doesn't even have, you don't have to just use these. So this is a nice thing to have right here, even if you're not in Klein Connect, but you bought a bunch of, and I guarantee you I ain't gonna have a single one of them. I do, I got a 1/4 inch one somewhere. It's in my philo handle. So if you bought any of the Klein flip sockets, just the regular ones, you know, the whole entire thing, you can take and put those on this and then use that with any 1/4 inch ratchet that you have. Like, doesn't have to be a Klein one, just any of them that's got a, you know, 1/4 inch end on it. So this is a pretty good adapter to have just in general if you've got a lot of Klein flip sockets. And that doesn't come with that doesn't come with every set. So I was trying to yeah, so like here's like one of those Titan things. So if you wanted to put your flip sockets on one of those, or the Vera, you know, things or whatever, you could do that too. So it's worth $12.50 in my opinion if you run Klein flip sockets, just to get that right there. If you don't have a set that has that in it. Will the cold weather heading your way slow down your work, or will you operate inside? It's made me, I have a few service call stuff, putting in some Ring cameras at another person's house, and they got some exterior lights and stuff like that. But I told them if next week, because we're supposed to get a real bad ice type storm on like Saturday night into Sunday, or Sunday night into Monday. I can't remember which way it is, but it's supposed to be like crazy cold next week. And I told them I'm not going to do that outside. Like it's not something they have to have type thing. And I've got other stuff to do, but I am working. I'm primarily working on that quadplex. It's under roof now. We've got the electricians and plumbers and all HVAC guys in there working right now. I'm basically going around putting in blocking for wall stops and closet shelves, because I'm going to be the one installing closet shelves. So I'm putting in all the blocking for that, grab bars, toilet paper holders, that kind of stuff. And then I'm just there for whenever somebody needs a question answered, like an electrician or whatever, what they need to do. But we don't have any heat in there. But I'm going to be taking some heaters, kerosene heaters and stuff, just to kind of knock the chill off of it type thing. But it's still at least out of the wind for the most part. So it's going to be cold still, but it won't be outside hanging out in the wind. The wind's what gets you. Those modbox rails are really nice. I wasn't disappointed with the quality of them in store. Yeah, and I actually like how Tools and Tactics is even using his to hang some of his like drills and stuff on too. Looks pretty nice. Got caught in the rain and got some rusted tools. I'll cool them across in here. What's the best to get rust off? I wiped them immediately once back in the truck. Now I got some rusty nitpicks. I actually just had I did one dose of it, but the Houdini didn't do too bad. These Cobra, these little cobras. I was on a job and they got wet and I forgot to clean them off, and they had a little bit on them, but I kept spraying Houdini, and then I take let's see, where's that brush at? Just, wire brush or something like that. I'm sure you got, but it just keep going to town. Like, it might take 2 or 3 times, but then other than that, I'd usually just get out some really light sandpaper or something too. Yeah, I've noticed that they don't rust bad, but the Knipex, they seem like if you actually don't, if it doesn't take long, if you don't keep them like dry, if you get them wet, like if you just don't do anything with them, which I guess I'm saying Knipex is probably with any of them, it just seems like to me, like in that teeth area, for whatever reason, they tend to rust a little bit faster. It's still, as long as you get rid of it when you first see it, it ain't a big deal. Like, it comes off pretty fast. I'm just saying rust appears a little bit faster, it seems like, than maybe other ones. Matt said you got to get up that 4-plane laser to set them up. Yeah, I will be using a laser. Actually, in situations like that, I follow lines, because if those other lines, which they should be straight because I put them up too, but they might have shifted, over time. It's old wood, so. But normally, yeah, I would be using a laser. I put up, let's see, bulletin boards, cork board type things. Put up a big bunch of them today in a church building that's getting ready to open. They had a lot of odds and ends stuff, and so they called me, and I just went and I hung a bunch of cabinets in their Sunday school rooms, and then I did some bulletin boards in their Sunday school rooms and their main areas, and then they had a kitchen cabinet that they needed. Their coffee pot wouldn't fit underneath of it, so I had to take it down and cut the bottom out of it and fix it. That's what I did today. Make sure you can get screwdrivers in and out under a cabinet. Yeah, I'll probably end up, yeah, it should be fine. But yeah, that's a good point though. I'm thinking of taking, I don't use, that's just a big mess over there, those magnets. I put them up there a long time ago, and I don't like them because it looks horrible. With your recommendation, my brother and father-in-law got me a Joey pouch, and now I have 2, Matt L. said. Yeah, that's pretty much the only, like, I've been using my Diamondback pouch whenever I'm, like, in my Atlas Stratus vest. Like, that's what I wear whenever I'm doing that blocking and stuff, like jobs like that, framing, those kinds of things. And I can fit some stuff in those, but I even clip a Joey pouch onto that for a fastener bag. But that's pretty much the only pouches I pretty much carry anymore. I really like them. They've been really nice. Ouch, Jake. I missed something Jake says. So nobody else's TV must be changing colors, Steve. I haven't seen anybody else say it. Oh, it's ouch, Jake, for Cullen McCrouse. I was going to say I didn't see a Jake up here, but it's Cullen McCrouse. 0.000 bingo. He said it. The Florida humidity must be killer on Knipex for sure. Yeah, you probably have it worse than what we do, Prowse. My summertime gets really humid, but again, I run a dehumidifier in my garage out here all the time, like 24/7. Like, even in the wintertime, I don't have to empty it. I used to have it over here, and I had it mounted up on the ceiling or up on a wall, and then I ran a hose outside and just let it do that. But I just empty. I come out here enough now. I didn't want to mess with that anymore. I just dump it every day or whatever during the summertime. But during the wintertime, it might go months before I have to empty it out. We don't have a bad humidity problem here during the wintertime. With the 1/4-inch ratchet and SAE, Clint said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yes, so I'm finally caught up to where I was showing you that. Man, every time I take out a tool to use it. Yeah, I hate it whenever I mess up, like when I have a tool that just doesn't look good. It bothers me. And I know some people think that's crazy, but it's like, I don't know. There's something about it, and I just don't like it. I still want it to look good. Ray's apartment maintenance is in here. I got the same microphone that you got, Ray, which I had the same old microphone that you had too, and mine messed up. I bought these new ones here lately. So maybe they had like a thing in the internals of it to make it go out at the same time. And then I also was going to tell you, and I looked for it before I came out here in case you were in this chat, which I don't have I got the TP3B right there, but that Mad Pack that you have, I just watched your video before I came out here. The Mad Pack that you have, it does work really good in that TP3. It's like the exact length, like it's like almost like it was made for it. That's actually in my Mad Pack video, that's the bag that I've got in there, is the one you was talking about getting. And I normally whenever I use that Mad Pack with that, or with my trash, I got a Klein bag that I kind of use for a trash bag, and I'll put on me. I actually just tuck that whole thing down in my pants and belt and the whole 9 yards. Randy Juice has got a bounce. He said, want to tell us Happy New Year and stretch your faith this year, especially with your YouTube page. Appreciate that, buddy. You have a good night. Lock camera. I live in Florida and treat them with rust prevention when I buy them. Has lanolin in it. I bought this one stuff at, I don't know if I got it out here or not. Let me see. Yeah. This stuff here, it's got that in it, whatever, the lanolin based. I use this sometimes on stuff that I know I'm not going to use for a long time. This is something I spray on some stuff. Just to, like, if I'm not, like my planer or something like that I put up over here and I'm not going to get it a long time, I'll spray stuff like this on it and stuff like that. But just my everyday stuff. But again, I clean mine so often that I'm hitting mine with Houdini like on the regular. So I don't think that Houdini's the best lubricant, protection lubricant, but I use mine enough that it's getting hit with it all the time. Wacky Wayland's in here. Timinator, the tool man's in here. Baking soda, maybe. I think there's some YouTube videos on getting rust off tools. Why I try to keep them out of the sand and getting moist. Usually not too bothered by the Kleins getting ruined. Klein needs to sell those adapters individually. Yeah, that's on all of them, in my opinion. They need to have some way for you to at least order them. Whether they want to make a SKU and put them in the store, they need to come up with some way to where you can at least order them somehow and get them, mailed to you or whatever. Joe FB, what's your favorite screwdriver set? I run Vessel screwdrivers right now is my favorite, and a tang through Vessel screwdrivers. They have to be the tang through. I like the weight of them. The whole set wise, like if I was going to buy a set, the best bang for your buck set, in my opinion, is like these Vera insulated ones right here. You can get like a set of them for 30 bucks. It's insulated, and it's got, that one had the squares in it and the Phillips and the slotted, which is pretty much what I look for in screwdrivers. I don't use a lot of the other stuff. And there also aren't real long handles. They're all like this length right here, which is the length I like. A lot of screwdriver sets come with like super long ones. I never use long screwdrivers. Like I don't ever, other than maybe like a demo driver or something like that. But a long screwdriver is never anything that I'm typically going to use. I like the 6-inch, 4-inch, whatever, 4-inch kind of blade and 6-inch maybe overall, or 6 or 7 inches. Y'all are probably getting a kick out of me saying that that's what I like. I'm surprised there isn't something in there. Cold weather makes more money. Something's always exploding. Great commenters on here. Eddie said, agree with that. TPG is supposed to get light snow. Just ordered some of the Xsense Bluetooth smoke CO2 detectors. Anyone have any experience with those? I haven't used them. Homely, yeah, here in Tennessee, they're saying snow and ice Monday. Temps in the single digits the rest of the week. Yeah, I was thinking it's supposed to start Sunday, like overnight Sunday or late in the evening or something like that. They've actually started putting stuff on the roads. On my way home today, I noticed, the strips of the whatever it is they put on there, brine or pickle juice or whatever it is they use these days. What's your favorite pencil or something different than Pica? For me, Pica, because I have this pencil a long time and nothing happens. I like Hultafors too, but two holding arms broke on the Hultafors. Those are the main two I use. Now, if you like a fine lead pencil, I've got, most of the time I'm using Pica 3030 or a Hultafors. Those are the main two I use too. Really haven't used. I do have an Ox pencil out there. It's not too bad. You can get one of those at Lowe's. It's kind of a mix. It's like a square shape and not like you got round Pica, flat Hultafors, and then round Ox. But I don't think I've got a video for the Pentel. I know I've got a video for the Pica. This was maybe, I've mentioned this in several videos, but I don't know if I ever did a video for this. But the Graph Gear 1000, I use the 0.9 lead. Some people like finer. They've got it in every lead, like 0.7. But phenomenal pencil, like comes out in very small increments of lead. So then you don't typically, like some of them, you click it one time, you get a ton of lead, it breaks easier. So like this one just sticks just a little bit amount out. But the nice thing about this one is when you're done with it, you press this in and then that retracts back so you don't break that. And then whenever you click that back out, it comes back out. But I like the weight. It's the same thing I am with the Vessel tank through screwdrivers. It's the weight of this pencil is what I really like. It's nice. But yeah, it's hard to beat Picas. Hard to beat them, in my opinion. I like the Hultafors better just because I like where the pencil sharpener is on the Hultafors. And I kind of like the fact that it's flat. I do like that. Like the Pica, I wear mine in pockets. So then I got to take this out to get to that pencil sharpener. That's the one thing I don't like about it. I like how all you YouTube people watch each other's videos. It's in our contracts with one another. We're all in it. We're all in it together to scheme on people and make them think that we do work and make them think that we don't get all these tools for free. It's all a big farce. So then we have to watch each other's videos to make it even out. Brash brush gets rust off. We're just missing a couple more guys. J-Man Tech, need HVAC guy tool. Cool, and you might try desiccant packs in your tool storage. Keep them dry. Yeah, I do that. Like all my tool drawers, which I used to actually even buy some of that kind of stuff and put it in different things. But like every time I buy stuff and it gets shipped to me and it's got those packs in it, I keep them. I throw them in my tool drawers. I throw them in these other drawers. I throw them all over the place. I've got them things everywhere. Evapor rust and the ultrasound cleaner, Ron Novak said. The wind did, in fact, get me today. 37 degrees on the roof of a 6th-floor garage. We're working on at 3 a.m. in Dallas. Had me shaking in my boots. Ordered insulated work bibs from Dickies. Yeah, I ain't kidding you. I put in that one ring light yesterday, and it was just up because I wasn't going to work yesterday. Miss Maintenance was at home, but I had a lady had some Ring cameras that she wanted up. And it's kind of, I needed to fit it in type thing. And I knew I was going to be busy. And I'm like, I'm going to go ahead. It won't take me no time. I'm going to go ahead and go up there and do it. And man, it was so cold. Like I wish I hadn't have. Like as soon as I got into it, I'm like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Like I said, I even put my GoPro on because I thought I'm going to go film putting in this. Because I wasn't real busy that day. I thought, well, I'll film putting in this Ring camera. There might be people out there that want to install this that want to know how to do it. But my GoPro wouldn't even work. It was kept beeping and turning off because I've had that problem with it being hot, but I never have had that problem with it being cold because that GoPro is usually like burning up most of the time, but I couldn't film it. I had knob and tube repairs today. It was shocking. No kidding, ketchup removes rust. Lockhammer says ketchup does. It was about 39 when I went to work and 65 when I started to come home. It has been warmer this afternoon. Like it was cold this morning, but it's even like it's 52 degrees in here right now. That's why I changed over to the hat from the toboggan. I didn't even have to fire up my heater today to get it warm out here. See, it's nice to finally be on a live to see how many of your followers who appreciate what you're bringing to the audience. I think that more of us following you look at you as a partner in our tools. And I said, it's the whole reason why I'm still doing this, to be honest with you. It ain't like Jake just had Colin McCrouse just had a video about how much he made on YouTube last year. I mean, you think about, and see, I'm a person now that I've filmed videos, like I'll watch his videos and I'll watch like the shots that he takes and all that kind of stuff. Like, man, he had to spend time to move his camera to here, go back and get the camera, or he might have 5 cameras, I don't know. But I think about the time and effort you put into it, and then like if you're doing it to make money, like unless you just hit it like viral or whatever, or something else, I don't know. It's like the amount of time you spend filming, there's no way that, and like I said, he's on here, if he still is or not. You can't tell me that you couldn't run a service call. Like, say you spend 5 hours on a video, like you run 5 service calls, you're definitely going to make more money on those service calls and spend that time doing that than you would making a video. But it's the whole reason why I'm still doing this is because of you guys. Like, I love the comment section on the videos, and then this stuff's been pretty nice doing this. Like I said, we just started doing these lives not too long ago, and I mean, you sit out here for 2 hours talking to each other just about tools and whatever else. Like I said, there's nobody around me that works with me that is a tool nut. Like, I've kind of converted the guy I work with a little bit. He's bought probably more tools in the last little bit than he probably has in a long time, just because he sees the ones I'm using, because he works with me more now than what he used to. And I let him try stuff and stuff like that. But no, he's not getting up in the morning and looking at tools like on his phone and looking for deals and all that stuff. He's not like that, like what I am. So it's just awesome having a bunch of people that's just like that. So like I almost am making videos just so I can have a comment section more so than I'm making videos that have videos. Terry said it was changing colors here too, but it hasn't for a while now. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure. I use ceramic wire nuts on jobs for that. Steve Woodshop and Tour Reviews in here said he just ordered the Knee-Pro screwdriver in honor of Matt HMM. We make sure that you order a DeWalt screwdriver too. Don't just order Knee-Pros. You got to get you some DeWalt screwdrivers. I just watched his video of how he doesn't like, he's not buying any more DeWalts. Randy said he appreciates me being myself and being here maybe when you have a bad day at work and you get to come in here and take your mind off your problems. Yep. Wood handles, not plastic, right, Steve? Dominic Gonzalez, love your videos, man. 2nd year apprentice, and I come here before thinking of buying any tool. That's Fluid Flim. Blaster also makes wood. Lockhammer said that's the stuff I showed a little bit ago. My Home Depot has some fluid film on clearance, so I grabbed a can last weekend, a little smelly. Yeah, that's another reason why I bought that, to try it, because like I said, I used to could get Houdini at Lowe's, like just in a pinch. I could go there. I normally go to my locksmith and buy it. Sometimes she doesn't have it and she has to order me a case or whatever. I bought some off Amazon just whenever. But I bought that one time just because I was just curious if it was something I could use if I couldn't grab a hold of some Houdini fast or whatever. It is a little bit smelly. Some way, I keep saying your name. This was my first live feed to be on regarding the MM page. You have built a following and a really cool group of people here. Awesome. Have a good night and weekend coming up. Appreciate that, Randy. You have a good weekend too, buddy. Sunrises or sunsets? I see a whole lot more sunrises, I think, on my way into work most of the time than I do sunsets. Oh. Let's see. I'm trying to get caught up. Happy New Year, Joey. John Dunn said. Appreciate that. You too, buddy. The Cascades have been getting dumped on Eastern Oregon, sitting around 18 inches. The Graph Gear 1000 are made in Japan, all metal, good stuff. Yeah, I love them. I bet I've got, I don't even know how many of them I've got. I've got them all over the place. Like, I've got them all in my truck everywhere. I've got them in my vest. I've got them in cups up there in the front of my truck. I've got them in my Atlas little folio that I use to take notes in. Like I don't even like holding another pencil. Elliot said, did you end up getting the DeWalt jacks or did you go with the Vikings? You might just have to wait and see, Elliot. You can't have everything. Like you can't know everything. Something's got to be a surprise. I did get some. I'll say that. I love the Sharpie fine point retractable. Never going back to normal Sharpie since I switched. I haven't tried them, but yeah, I could see where that'd be nice. I like when YouTubers have beef. Makes me wonder if they're real or going the way of reality TV. Yeah, like Clint and VCG. No, there's a few of them. Like I talked to Project Pine Hills a lot. We talk back and forth, and then me and Jake, he's messaged me a few times back and forth. We talk some. I like Ox, and it's easy to find at Lowe's. Yeah, I've got an Ox one, and then my buddy just got me a Ox, it looks just like the pencil, but it's a Sharpie, I guess. I haven't really used it yet. It's sitting in my truck. He brought me one to the job site one day. He won't tell us what he got, but he did order some, Matt said. He's got money. He's got the Viking. I've got money, Steve. I've seen your shop. You've got me beat, buddy. Making videos is a lot of work, but I enjoy it, Timinator said. Gotta go finish up tomorrow's video about the burn unit. Have a blessed night. Stay safe. See you, buddy. See you, Ray. By the time I get to these, you might already be gone, but I said see you anyways. I'm trying to get caught up. I couldn't put my battery things on the wall if I wanted to. I can't keep up with y'all tonight. There's been a lot of people in here up top. It's been at like 100 almost every time I've looked up there. Hey, Jim said Happy New Year from California. What's up, buddy? Come on, people. I know there's more than 7 watching and spending your time here. Still in the 60s here in Austin. My old Malco wrench is 20 years old. What's up? Jacques, I say I have a problem with that every time. Jacques Creel. One question. Ooh, I'm at the bottom. I got off and came back when I remembered my question. Where is the best place to get replacement bits for Klein screwdrivers like the Ratchets 15 and 1, etc.? I haven't seen a lot of that size, like the, this one came out of the 13 and 1, but like the double ones, like you can get the double ones on Amazon. Like I buy my combo ones on there and all that kind of stuff, like whenever I want some of those because the screwdriver didn't come with one. But I haven't really seen a lot of the Klein, like this type length screwdrivers on sale anywhere, like by themselves. The shorter ones, like the ones you find in your other 11 and 1s. Probably one in this. Let's see if there's one in this or not. No, that's the 3/8 one. Yeah, like that size, you can find them like on Amazon, Home Depot, different places like that. But that bigger size, I never really have seen those anywhere, so I don't know. And they might be a normal size, maybe where you can get other brands and stick in there. I'm not real sure. I know which ones you're talking about. I don't know if I got, might be right here. 13 and 1. No, see this one's the 13 and 1 Ratchet. I've got the 15 and 1 though, I think somewhere, if I can find it. Yeah, so like here's the 15 and 1. Takes that size. So if any of y'all know where those, anybody know where you can get some of them? I haven't ever seen them somewhere. I've seen the short ones, but I've never seen those on sale anywhere individually. Which one you needing? Because I've got them all, whichever one you need. I don't really use that screwdriver that much. It's in my garage screwdriver. You ever poop? You ever poop in a 5-gallon bucket in the back of your van? Question mark. No, I don't have a van, so I haven't done it. Good question though. Gotta do what you gotta do in a pinch, he said. Now, I mean, I've pulled off to the side of the road before. You got to do what you got to do. Kaiwi, Happy New Year. 2025 going to be the year of 100K. I don't think I'll make it there. We'll be interested to see though. It's pretty much, it's almost kind of like doubled every year, but I don't know if that's going to happen once you get up so far. Like I said, the tool channel stuff, there's not really that many of them that have like a ton of subscribers. Like it's not as big an audience like if you do political stuff or, even stuff where people do diet stuff and stuff like that. Those all, or the homesteading stuff and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more people that watch that kind of stuff. So there's not a ton of tool channels out there, I don't think, that specifically just do tool reviews and stuff like that have a ton of subscribers. Vegan said he does it all the time, Google guy. It's pretty much, he's got it set up back there. That's what he does. Even if he's at somewhere that's got a restroom and a porta potty, he does it in his van anyways. Bits that would fit my old generation Klein 1.5 inch stubby. Yeah, I haven't seen them either. The little small ones. I don't know where those are either. You need a 3D printer. You would love it, Bam's Life said. Well, there's a subscriber on the channel who's got a 3D printer, and he just emailed me back, and he's sent me a big, he sent me all the stuff he prints and stuff, and he was wanting to send me stuff and stuff like that too. So, yeah, it would be nice. But I can see myself going down a rabbit hole with one and just printing all kinds of stuff and going broke probably. Jacques says, what's your opinion on S-Wing? I've got an old S-Wing hammer that I've had forever, and it's still in my truck right now. It's the one I get out all the time and use. I'm not a big hammer user that much anymore. It's what I used to be. Like I'm using one right now. I've been putting it in my Diamondback pouch with a hammer holster to knock my blocking in, just before I nail it off or screw it. And other than that, I mostly just use a hammer for demo. Now they're pry bars and stuff like that. I mean, they make pretty good tools still. They're pretty decent, in my opinion. What was the last tool you got that was considered an EDC that you really liked? Well, I mean, I don't know if you consider an EDC, like for anybody, EDC or something that I carry every day. The small twin grip I keep in my vest. I like it. I've used it for probably about a handful of times now to get something out. It's been pretty nice. The smallest one, was it the 150 or something like that? So that's, my microphone off. I forgot I had it up there. It's in my vest, so I consider it my EDC. Yes, and what about the 3/8" ones? The old style prior to the Connect being implemented in all the screwdrivers. I'm talking about like the old style 11-in-1 stubby. Yeah, I don't know if I've got I've got that out here to pull that up, but the only bits I've seen replaceable by Klein for sale are and they're not even the impact ones. I've still never seen the impact ones, but just the regular 11-in-1s. And I probably got some of them out here somewhere, but I probably got some of them in here. That actually might be in my house bag, the old 11-in-1 magnetic one. Now here's one right here. Yeah, so like this old 11-in-1, this one's pretty old, but like the only bits I've ever seen are like for sale are this, like not impact, but this. I've never seen any of the other sizes, longer ones, shorter ones, whatever, sold individually anyways. All I know is I got a mess out here. It's gonna take me tomorrow to get that straightened up. Buy another Klein screwdriver and use one for spares. I bought those bits in other brands before. Like I said, yeah, if you can figure out the size, a lot of them are probably compatible with one another, like if they're similar in length and all that. I mean, they're all going to probably be the same, like size shaft and all that, because they're all 1/4 inch. But if you can find some that are the same length, I'm sure you could find maybe another brands if you can't find Klein. No one likes a crappy van. Mr. Morgan, I bought the new 2521 circular saw, wondering if you can use a 5.5 inch blade. Yeah, I think that you can. I'm pretty sure it might even say that in the instructions. I think I read it that you could, because I want to say the metal blade I even put on, which I put it on my old one, but you can still put it on the new one. But I think you can use a 5.5. I'm pretty sure. I don't have the box anymore, and it'd take me a while to find my little manual thing. But I want to say I even read it on the. It was either on the back of the box or on the manual. I saw something about you could use a 5.5 inch blade. Just go ahead and put one on it, and then close your eyes and pull the trigger, and then you'll know. But I think you can, Jim. You could use Mega Pro bits inside the Klein screwdriver. Matt said you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I've never bought a 5.5 because my Home Depot actually carries the 5 3/8, so that Diablos, and I just go buy them all the time. But I'm pretty sure I did see that. I've used both my M12s. I've used it on both my M12 saws. I'm late, but I like watching these. Will said. Vegan Cookies said he's going to do a review of it just for you. Is that your bucket? Do a review for your bucket. I was an early subscriber to the Outdoor Boys due to my kids. Man, that channel exploded. I love to see one of our apprentices put me on, called the Batman bit. I love oh, like that. It's the combo bits, what that is. Yeah. It's the it's a square turned a little bit sideways. Yeah, most of the receptacles and all that stuff that you run into these days, that's pretty much that's what it's for. They're on the side of those. Occasionally you'll run into it in a panel or something, but not most of the time. The screws in the panel are a square with a slot going straight across it. It's not a combo bit. It's just a square with a slot. It's mix and match, but most of the time mine I have to use a square or a slotted. Newman prints a lot of stuff. It's not hard for him to learn. Well, there's a ton of stuff because the guy who's been emailing me, he said if I got on Thingiverse and I can't even remember what the names of them are. I started looking around on them, but basically you can get all kinds of those designs for free and just print them, But again, I don't know. I've never done it, so I have no idea what's involved in it, and I wouldn't even know what printer to get, and I wouldn't know all that kind of stuff. That's too much stuff for me to go and figure out as to learn something new. I'm barely learning how to film stuff and do all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I can handle something else new. The only thing that matters in the M12 saw blades is the correct arbor size and adapters. Yeah, so your 5.5 inch blade that you buy has to have the little adapter that goes in it, or I think it's a 10 millimeter arbor. I think it's something like that. But the Diablo ones I buy that are the 5 3/8, they come with the different adapters that you can put in there for different size arbors. Foobar, that mic, I know I just brushed it right off. It's got a little magnet that you can stick on there, which it came with all sorts of things. Like it's got a clip and all that. I've been using this magnet. And like I said, I've been putting it down here just because the first video I filmed with it, I could hear myself breathing a lot in it, but I put it like up here. So I've been moving it down to see how that goes. Morgan Maintenance, does that guy make adapter plates for Klein to rigid? I don't remember seeing it, but I don't know for sure. He did say he was working on some new stuff, so even if he doesn't have it, he did have, and I didn't notice it till after I filmed the video and I went back in. He does have the reverse of it available though. Like you can go from pack out. Like I'm going from Klein to pack out, but he's also got an adapter that goes from pack out to Klein. If you wanted if you ran Klein organizers or something for some reason, or I guess the biggest thing would be if you wanted the wire spool box and you wanted it to mix into that would probably be the main reason why you would want to buy the Klein or the Milwaukee to the Klein so that you could put that into your stack, that kind of thing, put it on the top. AGM said, thanks, Mr. Morgan. Where are you from, Joey? Where are you broadcast from? It's from Kentucky. I live in Kentucky. If you're going to go in a van, you might as well get a Yeti bucket. The only place you can spend $50 on a 5-gallon bucket. Your environment needs to be a climate controlled for printing to work well. What's the mic? This one is it's the same one that Ray, if you watch Ray Apartments maintenance video, I bought the same one, except for mine came with, this one was the complete set. So it's the Hollyland Lark M2. And this one came with, and the only reason why, that's the whole reason why I bought this, because I got it on sale for like, normal price on this one was more expensive because it comes with a adapter for the lightning cable, which is what my iPad is, and then it came with the one with the USB-C, and then it also comes with one that you can hook up the 3.5 auxiliary thing to it, and it comes with two things, and this is a charging box as well. So once you put them in there, it's charging everything at one time. You don't have, my old one I had to plug up all the time and all that stuff. So this one came with all that stuff, and it was on sale for cheaper than just buying a normal one whenever I bought it. Took me forever to get it though. It did take like a month to get it. I got it off Amazon, but it took a long time. I don't know where it came from or whatever. Intimidator's leaving out. See you, buddy. I'm going to get off here in just a minute too. On panels, I use square head a lot. I just picked up the latest electrician's square by Klein. Do you know how to use the features for laying out a panel? I haven't seen that electrician's square by Klein. I'll have to look that up. Recently got the Fluke T5600. I'm having an issue where every time I try to pull out the leads, they come apart. Does anyone else have that problem, and how do you fix it? I haven't had the problem on my T6 1000, but I haven't had a T5600, so I don't know. I think they're pretty similar in the way that the leads and stuff go on. So I don't know. Maybe someone else will. I was mistaken about who eats their babies. Kentucky, not Tennessee. This may inspire a band challenge. Never had an issue with my T5, but you can get new leads for it. Just unscrew the back. I haven't found any videos yet that does a demonstration for using the Klein square properly. It's kind of complicated, so I've only been using it for a ruler laying out my panels. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't even know. I haven't seen whatever it is you're talking about. Which I don't do a lot of that stuff, you know, anymore either. See, back whenever I worked at the company that I worked for, I pretty much just did everything because I was a employee working for somebody telling me what to do. Like, even though I was the head, you know, person, but I wasn't working like for my own self where I have to have certain, you know, things and all that kind of stuff like I do now. So I don't do as much stuff now than what I used to. Caleb Elrod, is the M12 worth getting into? I feel like it is, but again, just depends on what you do. I love it. I mean, I bought nearly almost every M12 tool there is for the most part, and they work fine for me. I use them day in, day out, every day. And there's a ton. It's the drills and the impacts are smaller, yeah, not crazy smaller. The tool's not. It's the battery, but it's whenever you get into the other tools. And again, it just depends on what you do. Like I've got the old bandsaw, and it is like one hand all day long, no problem. Now you can only cut certain stuff with it though. So if you always are cutting bigger pipe and all that kind of stuff, it's not going to do you a lot of good. But if you're just cutting, you know, EMT and stuff like that all day long, even strut and stuff like that, I mean, it's so nice to one hand. Like, it doesn't weigh much. Your arm's never tired at the end of the day, that kind of stuff. So it all depends on what tools you're going to use in the big scheme of things. Daniel just ordered the Pentel pencil. I think you'll like it. I did notice that whatever this brand is, somebody recommended this brand to me. What was the name of this? I don't remember what the name of it was. I bought some. I use them, but I don't use them that much. Nipro or NIC Pro or something like that. Yeah, NIC Pro. This brand here, this isn't what those are, but they've got kind of like some knockoff Pentels, and it's like you get a bunch of them for like $14, but I haven't tried to. I thought about just trying them just to see if it's close to being the same thing. They look the same, but I don't know if they are the same, if they function the same and all that stuff. And I know what those are, and I know that's what I want, so I just don't even waste my money typically. Once I've got something that I know for sure I like it, a lot of times I don't even go away from it. Steve said he's got some DeWalt 12 volt for sale. Lifetime warranty on them too, on those DeWalt 12 volts from Steve. He'll give you a lifetime warranty. Save your back, M12 all day long. DeWalt hating. I do apartment maintenance. Yeah, you'd like M12 in my opinion, like you would. The only tools really, like I get out my M18 as saws, like and I'm talking miter saws and stuff like that. I use my M12 circular saw probably 4 or 5 times as much as I get out my big rear handle saw. Like, I mean, very rarely I get out my rear handle saw, and it's really only if I'm cutting, like the other day I was cutting sheets of zip board, but I was cutting like 4 of them at a time or something like that, 3 or 4 of them at a time. So I got out my rear handle because my M12 ain't gonna do that. You know, it's just not going to. But I was making, I had to cut a bunch of 5-inch strips for porch to fill it in before they do the metal wrapping and all that stuff. And so I just got out my rear handle for that instance. But I mean, I could have got out the M12 and cut them one at a time and done it, and it would have been fine. But anytime I'm doing a ton of cutting like that, you know, I might get out my rear handle. But just normal stuff, cutting 2x4s, all that stuff, I use my M12 all the time. I use my Flex Volt mud mixer to drill a 2-inch auger hole today. I've used I was surprised. I've got the M18 mud mixer, and I think I've showed it on here before. I think I've got it over here. I don't remember. Yeah. So whatever this auger is, I'm not sure how big this is. Let me find a tape measure. Looks like probably 3 inches or something like that. Maybe 3.5 inches. So I bought this thing off Amazon. And basically, if I'm doing like a 4x4 post or something like that, just so I can get deep instead of doing a post hole digger, I always put it in my SDS drill, is where I normally put it at. And then I've got that big long extension. So I can end up going, like, keep getting deeper. But this in my mud mixer is night and day better than using my rotary hammer that I had. So it's pretty stout. Them mud mixing drills are pretty stout. They're almost pretty much like a hoe hog, pretty much, kind of, pretty similar. Can you use the Pentel pencil on framing and hard materials? I do at times, but I normally use my Pica when I'm framing, just because, you know, you're typically trying to move faster and you're going to break that lead a lot whenever I use these for my note taking, just general writing, all that kind of stuff, and then I use it for trim work, like all my trim work. This is what I use for whenever I'm, you know, marking where I want to cut my miters and all that kind of stuff, or if I'm laying out stuff on a board that I'm cutting, whatever it is, that's what I use these for. So it's a much finer pencil. But I normally just, like this normal 2x4 framing walls and all that. I mean, you could use it. I'm not saying you couldn't. I don't use it for that. But Contreras said M12 100%. You need a Mag 77 hanging off your hip. Man, I tell you what, I use the M18 framing nailer. My buddy's got it, and he brought it in. So that's what I was putting all that blocking up with, just because it was faster than, you know, doing it with screws and all that kind of stuff. And he had a bunch of nails he's wanting to get rid of. But man, that thing, if you run that M18 framing nailer all day, my shoulders were killing me. It's a heavy nail gun. I wouldn't want to use one of them to frame something all the time, like as a framer. Like I would still be using an air nailer or bypass load or something. Milwaukee, Vera, or Klein screwdrivers. Out of them three, I definitely wouldn't get Milwaukee. I don't like them. They're not bad. I just don't like the handles. I don't like the grip on them. And then I'm sentimental towards Klein. I like Vera, but I like Klein screwdrivers too. I probably run my Klein 11-1 impact more than I run Vera screwdrivers, but I use Vera a lot more before I bought Vessel, and now I use Vessel more than any of them. but I don't use my Veras as much anymore because I only got so much space in a bag, but I still use my Klein 11-in-1s. I don't use a lot of Klein dedicated screwdrivers. I pretty much use vessel dedicated screwdrivers and a Klein multi screwdriver. My flex foot mud mixer is crazy drilling. I can do a 12-inch by 24 orthogonal 2-inch hole was in a wood beam. Oh, you were drilling a 2-inch hole like in wood. Yeah. Couldn't you use a drill to mix mud? Why get a dedicated mixer? If you mix a lot, like a 5-gallon bucket worth, I bought mine for a thin set more than I did drywall mud. I normally mix up all my drywall mud in a pan, even if I'm getting it out of a box or a bucket. All my hot mud I just mix in my pan, but even if I get it out of a box or a bucket, I typically put it in my pan and then mix that pan. I don't mix up the whole bucket, but I'm also not like going around using 15 buckets on a job type person either. So I don't do it so that I don't water down that whole entire bucket of mud, because I might not use that whole entire bucket. Working tonight in the ER, so I'm missing everything. Navin R. Johnson said, slow speed mixing, the 3-speed to walk goes 450. Thank you so much for your advice, Daniel said. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Klein's still keeping time, so I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Been on here for a couple hours, so I'm going here and spend some time with Miss Maintenance. I'm glad y'all was out here. Like I said, I'll probably do a live at some point Saturday, at least for the giveaway. Whether or not I can stay on here as long or not, I don't know. But at some point in time, and it will either be early or after the guest of trade, one of the two probably. Just depends on what I can do before meeting up about the podcast thing. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and get inside. Appreciate y'all being on here and giving me your advice. I'm going to keep my sign. I was debating on whether or not I want to take the sign down. And then I'm going to move my batteries over there by my chargers. That makes the most sense, I guess. And then the screwdriver thing, I'm still either there or I might move it over there. One of the two. But I need to get some of this stuff off. My workbench is getting a little bit crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So appreciate y'all being on here. And we'll see you on the next one.